Okay, I'd like to call this meeting of the Public Works and Planning Committee to order. This is Tuesday, August the 6th. And first of all, we'd like to start off with a prayer. Commissioner Jernigan, do you do that for us?
Most gracious Heavenly Father, we thank you for all the many blessings. Thank you for letting us assemble here together. Thank you for this committee, Rutherford County, and all the citizens. Forgive us so many sins. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Welcome back from our break in July. We need to approve the minutes from June. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion passes. Okay, first up is the Highway Department report. We've got it on our desk. Sorry.
The only thing Highway Department had this month was that Long Creek subdivision, lots 110, 111, one drainage easement. Jupiter Acres subdivision, lots 36 and 44, there's 3 drainage easements to be done in there.
Okay, is there a motion concerning this?
So moved.
Second.
Anybody have any questions for Commissioner Jernigan? Okay, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Landfill, Mr. Nolan.
Good evening, how y'all doing?
Good
evening.
Doing good. Landfill, we've been relatively busy. Of course, with the loads coming in, we've been busy there, but we've been doing a lot of work out there. We've got the new well installed, we've got the old wells developed, we've got the leachate sampling and the well water or monitor well sampling all completed. Still working on cleaning out the sediment pond. With all the rain, it keeps filling up with water, so we have to pump the water and then clean it out. Just got a whole lot accomplished. On the leachate, we got the sump pump in. We have not pumped anything yet. We're waiting with the city of Murfreesboro to get an agreement with them to haul that leachate to the wastewater treatment plant. So we got the analytical results back on it, and it doesn't even need to be pre-treated. They can take it as is. So we hope to get started tomorrow hauling leachate. We think if we're lucky, about 100,000 gallons. We think it'll take 6 or 7 days to haul that. And on your iPads is the agreement with the city of Murfreesboro. It's also got some trip reports from TDEC, and it also has the results from the sampling and the last 3 inspections.
Looks like July the 27th, there was no violation.
Right.
Looks good. Or
What's it mean right there not being addressed? No violations?
Which one are you reading?
I guess that'd be on the first one.
the 27th of June.
The 27th.
Sediment pond in progress. No violations not been addressed.
I guess that refers to the
Was he
first
saying that there
thing?
were no violations that we weren't addressing?
Right.
So if we had violations, he saw that we were addressing them.
Right.
Okay. He just worded that funny because I looked at it the same way and it just seemed odd. Okay, so he saw the violations were actually being addressed. That's what I was looking for. Okay. Could have worded that a little bit different, I think.
And we also completed our TOSHA investigation and got all those repairs, and Dan's here to speak about that.
Do we need to put that in with the report, or do we need to approve the report first?
It's up to you.
Okay.
The report is really the fourth thing in here. These are just additional items of information that he's giving you here. But all of this can be considered part of the report if you want to. But you hadn't really got to what is the normal report.
What does that mean right there, Mac, on the safety report number 10, no safety work rules are enforced?
I don't see where you're reading that, Mr. Jernigan. What are you on?
Ocean.
I think he was saying that they had
That
safety work
15
rules.
that 15 things here.
Okay, that's the TOSHA inspection that Dan's gonna address.
Okay, let's go ahead and do that, if we don't mind.
Mr. Good is here to do that.
Yes. Yes, sir. Since
Good
we're
evening.
talking about it.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you for having me tonight. What I've been asked to do is to come before you tonight and inform you about a recent TOSHA inspection that was conducted out at the landfill and the convenience centers. The inspection was a result of an individual's complaint of some issues out at the landfill. TOSHA brought the complaint, and there was 15 items that were originally on the complaint list. Only 3 of those items were found to be violations under TOSHA guidelines. An inspection was conducted, of course. Whenever TOSHA conducts an inspection, they also look for any other violations or anything like that. During their inspection that day, they found a total of 9 other, to bring the grand total of citations to 12. Once we got the report back, we were able to correct 11 of those citations immediately, or within the next working day. One of those items was not completed at that time, but was completed prior to the suspense date that was given by TOSHA. And TOSHA has released the inspection, and all correct items have been corrected.
Did TOSHA, did they notify you before they come? And did you go out there first initially?
They called and said that they were coming back for a visit to make sure that I was there. I have no knowledge about where they want to go, what they want to inspect, what was there. I was just told that they were coming to visit me on such a day.
Mm-hmm.
They walk in, they hand me the citation at that time.
Okay, so you didn't go out there before then?
I didn't know anything about what the citation or anything was about, or what the circumstances were.
You didn't go out there before they come?
I don't remember going out there. No, sir.
You don't remember going?
No, sir. Not going out there prior to that. I mean, we do safety inspections, so we're all throughout the county. When I say we, I mean my office.
Okay.
And also, tell me your name and your role, because I don't think I know this.
I'm Dan Good,
Okay,
and I'm the safety coordinator for the county.
thank you.
I'm sorry, I should have. I see him every month at public safety, and so I just assumed we all knew him.
I normally report to
That's
public
my fault.
safety, and I don't report to this committee.
Thank you.
Are there any questions for Mr. Good?
Who would normally be responsible for preventing these types of issues? Like, I guess because I don't know the role that your department has played in this. You know, they called you and said, okay, we're going. Is there some shared responsibility between you and Mac, or who should have been on top of this? I guess I'm trying to figure out going forward, whose responsibility is it for site inspections to make sure that we are in compliance and stay in compliance?
If you're asking me about safety, I tell you it's everybody's responsibility.
Okay.
It's department head, it's the risk management office, it's the employees.
Okay.
Because any one of these citations could have been corrected by any one of those individuals, including the employee that's on the site out there on a daily basis.
I don't know, some of them, like a regular employee wouldn't have known about the illuminated exit signs, or, you know, things like that. You know, some of the things that they found seemed like a little nitpicky, you know, which is fine. I mean, they're there for a reason, and I get it. But I'm just saying, we want to be in compliance. We don't ever want to
Absolutely.
report with a finding, and so I just want to know how
When a
we
sign
gonna-
falls down that's not on a storage tank that says this is a gasoline tank, an employee could easily have taped it right back up. But once it's not done, and then after a period of time, they forget it, then it's left there, and that's what gets you your citation.
Okay. So the answer to my question going forward is?
It's everybody's responsibility. Truly, safety is everybody's responsibility.
And so do you do safety training?
Yes.
Is that something that we have done, or I'm just trying to figure out how we got here. So, because I never care about blame. I always care about going forward. I always care about the solution. Where are we headed? How do we stay in compliance, and how do we stay in good graces, and how do we keep our employees safe? So that's all I'm really looking for is, what's the plan?
Okay. we have already in place Dwayne Hawkins, who is the training specialist with the county and works with me in my office. He actually goes out and does site inspections. He does all the county school systems, all the county buildings, the landfill, and all those places. So he's out there and doing those.
Okay.
He was at this inspection also, so it educates him, and he learns too, just like we all do, about what things that Tosha's looking for.
Okay.
The supervisor, the department head was out there and also aware of that, so they learn from that. We do training. Him, Dwayne being the training specialist, conducts training. He does training, is it once or twice a year for the?
Once a year usually for the
Once a
convenience
year,
center.
but he has a number of topics that he goes over when Mac brings all his employees in to do annual training.
Okay.
So they do that training there and discuss things, which when you look through some of the things that did not get cited, you'll realize that yes, there is training being done.
Okay. And then, do new employees go through a training before they start, or do they go through that once, like once a year with the department?
The once a year usually, but to help answer your previous question on who's responsible, it's all of us responsible, and that's true. But when you see something on a daily basis, it doesn't stand out to you. When you see a
Right.
new set of eyes looking at something, hey, why is this not here, or what's that there for?
Yeah.
That helps bring things to your attention.
Yeah.
But if employees are working all the time, you would think he would get adjusted to, hey, these things are supposed to be looking at every day. The only thing darn me is who's overlooking this, are they looking at it?
Well, we're looking at it a whole lot more closely now. We've never had exit signs out there.
I ain't talking about the exit sign.
Okay.
The exit sign, I mean, I'm talking about the other stuff, you know, if I'm supposed to be checking stuff every day, and like a no smoking sign on the tank,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I would be checking that every day. Just like we have 2 hours, don't you? Like we have a board guy had a sign, cause somebody come by and throw a cigarette or something. But anyway,
But I will say that there were smoking signs. The sign that was missing is what was in the tank, whether it was gasoline or diesel. And the reason for that is so that somebody coming in to fill the tanks wouldn't get a mistake and mix diesel with gas or put the wrong diesel in the wrong tank or something like that. All the warning signs about smoking and things like that were present.
okay.
Do we have any more questions for Mr. Good? Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
You want to move on to the convenience center?
Yes, sir.
The convenience center's been rather busy as well. Schools are starting back, so our front loader service is picked back up. During the summer, we just ran trash at each school once a week and recycle once a week. So we started last week, in the middle of the week, running our regular route to get ready for the schools to be back in session. So that's going well. The convenience centers are a little bit slow right now. This time of year is kind of slow for us. It'll pick up at fall break. That's about when it'll start picking back up again. The recycled commodities are still doing well. Everything's running pretty good on that side. Haley Road, we've been trying it for a while and it's working, so we're getting ready to actually publicize it. But down there at Haley Road, we're normally publicized. We're open on Tuesdays and Saturdays. But the guys are there every day except for Friday and Sunday. So we've opened the gate every day at 10 o'clock and closed at 4 just to see who shows up. And if we get a call, of course, we'll send them down there. So that's getting ready to be open every day except for Sunday, Friday and Sunday. Got the household hazardous waste coming up November 2nd, I believe it's first Saturday in November. That'll be at the City of Murfreesboro Mulch facility. And we'll have oil-based paint collection the last Saturday, or the fourth Saturday in September. That'll be at Haley Road.
Total revenue, was that calculated on 1 month or 2 months, or since I guess is that
For the
year?
landfill report?
Yeah.
That's just last month.
67,000,
Yes, sir.
that's all convenience centers.
No, that's just the landfill. That
Just a
dollar.
landfill,
The
67,000.
convenience centers don't take in any money.
But I mean, the recycling stuff is sold from the convenience centers, right?
Right, but that revenue doesn't come back to us. It goes toward the fund balance to help support the department. Because we're not fully funded through the budget.
Right.
So that's what helps
Yeah, I
fund the
got you.
fund balance.
We have on the iPads a Spear trip report.
Mm-hmm. That's Alan Spears. He's with TDEC. When we were doing the drilling of the well, locating it, and the sampling and the development of the wells, which development, I've never actually been around development of wells. So what they do is, these wells are not fast producing wells. So they go in, they pump all the water out, trying to get the sediment from the bottom. They let it recharge, and they do that continuously until they get clear water. And once they get clear water, then they consider that well developed. Some of them took quite a bit of time. 4B is the deepest well up there, up on top of the hill. And we had to bring in a well drilling crew to actually help develop that one. And it took 3 days to get it developed. But his pages are addressing those.
Okay, there's 2 different documents for that, right?
There's actually 6 or 7
Three or four different reports.
on different days. I've never received these before. He just actually sent them to me this time for the first time, so I shared them with y'all.
On here, I think it's the July 23rd, 2013 assessment monitoring, and then a Spear trip report, right? Okay.
Yeah, the Spear, if you just keep scrolling over, it shows us 4 days or 3, whatever they, May, June, they've got several different ones listed in there.
You know, we had talked about money. How did we come out on? It was per drilling, right? It
Right.
cost per.
The well, the geologist picked the site.
Mhm.
And I was there with them, but I had nothing to do with it because I didn't understand how they was trying to choose it. So they picked the first site, set up and drilled all day, got 100 feet, no water. So they left the drill rig in place to come back tomorrow just in case there was some water in there, and then they could build the well and not have to try to set the equipment back up. So they determined that well was not going to be producing enough water to sample. So we picked another location, drilled that location, hit no water. So by the end of the day, the second day, they came back to the first hole and thought, okay, it's producing more water than we thought. So they actually developed and built the well in that first hole. So it's 100 feet deep with a 20-foot screen at the bottom, and it produces about a half a gallon of water a minute.
Okay.
But that's the slow rate that they want.
Right.
If we get any calculations on the one that pumps the leachate over to Republic, as far as how many gallons is going over there?
We go up there and pump that manually, and usually once every week or two, there's a 500 gallon tank there we pump into. The pump cuts off automatically, so about 350 gallons is all you'll get into it. Then the pump cuts off, and it gravity flows next door. Usually it's less than 1,000 gallons a month that we pump over there next door. Now the leachate sump that we put in, which is at the toe of the C&D site, we're estimating 100,000 gallons of liquid in there. It's a guess. We don't know. The agreement that we've got with the city of Murfreesboro is they're thinking up to 200,000 gallons. So we're going to pump till we get it halfway down, or 100,000 gallons, depending on which one comes first, and then sample it again to make sure it hasn't changed and the leachate is still as easy as it is to treat. You know, so we're going to start that process and try to get it pumped as quickly as we can, because it'll take a week to get the test results back.
Good. Are there any other questions for Mr. Nolan?
I just one real quick, Mac. Have they, with school year starting, have they talked about any new plans to really start pushing the recycling and things in schools that they talked about last year with a lot of the?
Mimi has been meeting with several of the schools that have time. Of course, schools teachers are there this week. The students aren't, but they're going through a lot of faculty meetings and that type of stuff. So she's in some of the schools addressing the faculty and the administration and the custodial staff. This summer we actually had the best or the highest recycling rate through that system.
That's good.
And it's because there wasn't a whole lot of trash. What they were cleaning out was mostly paper products, and they were actually recycling it. There was one day, which we didn't, the way we ran the route, we had to collect the week's worth of data and combine it into one. Normally we're running about a 17%. There was one week we ran 33%.
Yeah, I just want to make sure they keep using it. I think it's a pretty good program, so I want to make sure it's getting enough push and priority from the people that need to be pushing that.
Right.
Thank you.
Okay, any other questions?
I'll make a motion to approve the report as presented.
For a second?
Second.
Okay, any other questions or issues to bring up? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank
Have a good
you.
evening.
Thanks, Mac.
You too.
Thank you.
Okay, planning.
Evening, Commissioners.
Hello.
Hello.
First order of business we have is just our reported plat available lot inventory that we present you with every month. Not just a whole lot to report on that. You will see on the back of, I guess it's the second full page, where it says page 404 on the bottom, you'll see that the total available lots is down to 981, which is an improvement from 1,206 this time last year. So again, we do continue to see the lot inventory decrease. We had a few more plats recorded over the last couple months, so it's actually up just a little bit, but it's still a lot better than it has been in years past. And then you'll see also the not recorded plats that are still kind of out there. We don't keep as close a tally on that, but we can start doing that if you so desire. If there's no questions on that, we just have one rezoning application for you that will be coming to the Board of Commissioners next week. This is a piece of property along Shelbyville Highway. The property in question actually contains a single-family home currently. It was originally rezoned back in 2011 to what was called services at the time, to allow a convenience market and a restaurant. The Planning Commission also approved 2 site plans for the property, both of which involved a Subway restaurant. No construction ever commenced for either of those 2 site plans. Since that time, the owner of the property has decided to sell the property to the Dollar General store franchise for them to build a Dollar General on the property. The issue that they were running into is that the store they were wanting to build was about 9,000 square feet. When we rezoned this property as part of the zoning overhaul that took effect at the beginning of the year, it was zoned a commercial neighborhood, which only allows for retail businesses up to 5,000 square feet. So they're asking for a rezoning from commercial neighborhood to commercial services, really just to get a slightly larger store. That's really the main reason for this rezoning. Besides that, we really haven't received any phone calls on this particular rezoning, and I don't recall there being anybody there to speak either way at the Planning Commission meeting, as I recall. So with that, that's the only one you'll have before you. You'll notice that there was one other application that was that was considered at the July 8th Planning Commission meeting. It was for a recycling sorting facility over on Almaville Road. After the public hearing and lengthy discussion on that, ultimately was decided that this probably wasn't the best location for that particular type of an establishment. So the application was recommended denied. Typically those would still come before you, but the applicant withdrew the application on July 18th. So that one will not be coming before you, but the information's there in case you were curious about it. So I'll be happy to answer any questions you might have.
Any questions or motion?
Motion to approve is presented.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Just one quick announcement. Just want to say that the Planning Commission will be having a public hearing for the subdivision regulations draft that we've been considered to the Planning Commission at their meeting this coming Monday, it'll be August the 12th at 6 p.m. just right in the courtroom next door.
Thank you.
So if anybody'd like to come, we'd love to have you.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, building and codes.
Madam Chairman, Commissioners.
Hi, David.
The monthly report for July on building activity was 249 permits issued, $500 taken in for plan review, $52,713 for building permits, $7,425 for plumbing permits, $985 for gas permits, for a total of $61,623. On the back of that report is comparing to last year. We're issued 51 single families this July compared to 44 last July. Our total single families for this year is 370. Last year, up to July, was 294, so we're up 76 homes from last year, and totals 1,527 this year and 1,363 last year. So we're up 164 total building permits. If you look down about the fourth line on permits, it's mobile homes. We're also up 7 mobile homes from last year too. We've issued 22 mobile homes this year, and last year's total was just 16 for the whole year. So mobile homes are on good activity on those also. Our next report is our property standard inspections. We performed 353 inspections in July. 7 BZA cases was handled with 51 signs, either inspected or picked up, for a total of 58 in that category. New cases for July was 60, and closed cases 87. Going back up to liens released on our categories, we've released 71 liens this year. It's a really good number for us. 20 last month. We had some liens come in that was 5 years old, so some of these lots are getting back active. We demoed a house on one of them in 2009 and one in 2008, and we've got our money back on those, so we're really glad to get that money back. One of them was $5,700 back to us, so with interest, so that was a good one there. Glad to see those lots getting active again. On our next report is our development tax collections. Building Codes Department took in $343,500. For lots, the Planning Department took in $63,750 for a total of $407,250 collected for our first budget year month. Smyrna was our top development area for apartments. We had 168 apartments in the town of Smyrna collected, so that was a good collection for July.
Is that just one development?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Where's it at?
I don't know the location. I didn't have that written down. Sorry.
It might be in my subdivision. Towards the front, they were adding a lot of apartments and up on the front end, in 7 off of Almaville Road.
168.
Yeah, I know they've been working. That might be it.
And that's my monthly report.
Any other questions?
Whoops, sorry.
Go ahead.
Motion to approve the report.
Second.
Any other questions? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we've got
Relaxing.
the Relax and Ride contract.
Okay, this is an annual contract that we have for
Yeah.
these routes from Murfreesboro, Smyrna, Laverne, into Davidson County. So it's in the budget, and this is just a follow-up to execute the actual agreement with the RTA. So we need a motion to approve that we'll contract and execute it.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Any other questions? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, is there any other business that needs to come before the committee? If not, this meeting stands adjourned.